It's finally happened. After there's been a lot of rumors, it appears that the New York Knicks are starting to fully give up on Jericho Sims as a rotational player, and we're going to break down why that is, as Knicks insider Ian Begley recently revealed the Knicks have little to no faith in Jericho Sims to be their backup center next season, and we have to talk about this. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. And Ian Begley, the Knicks' marquee beat writer, has mentioned that he believes the New York Knicks have given up on Jericho Sims as a guy who could be their backup center this season based off all reports and all indications. Obviously, the Knicks backup center is the position that people are looking at the most. Looking at where the Knicks stand right now, they have Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims to back up Mitchell Robinson, who will be the starting center after the departure of Isaiah Hartenstein. And there was a lot of noise where you look at guys like Precious, like Jericho, and you think that Jericho decently does have a chance to take over for that backup center role for the foreseeable future, but Ian Begley does not seem to think so. Now, as Begley mentions here, he's a little surprised that the Knicks haven't signed a veteran backup center to this point. They have an open championship window here with the Mikal Bridges trade. It would surprise Begley if they waited till the trade deadline to address the center position. Mitchell Robinson is coming off an ankle surgery. If he's ready for training camp, he'll still need some time to regain his conditioning and timing, and there's a lot of noise that Mitch won't be ready for the training camp. And it's also prudent to factor in Robinson's injury history. Precious is very capable as a backup center / power forward, and Jericho Sims has shown promise, but is unproven in that role. Now, that doesn't say much. It's more just an overview of everything. It's right here. As Begley says, he's been covering the NBA for a while, and he's always excited for the start of the season, but this one feels different because what the Knicks have done the past 2 seasons and what they could accomplish with who they have on the roster. But as far as Jericho Sims goes, Begley doesn't seem to have the most insight on what the front office and Tibbs' view of him. However, they've been gauging their options at center, so it could give a little insight into where they are on Sims, and Begley believes that unless he's reading too much into it, the Knicks' actions suggest that they are not fully confident with Sims as a second or a third center at this point. Maybe Sims changes their mind with a strong training camp / preseason. Yikes! Okay, I've been kind of high on the Jericho Sims trade, or the Jericho Sims train, not trade, and it is surprising to see how little faith the Knicks seem to have in with Sims. It came out by Fred Katz, salute to Katz, no longer a Knicks beat writer, got promoted, so shout out to him. He mentioned that the Knicks basically have no interest in making Sims anything other than a situational backup, which is fancy words for third-string center. It seems like the Knicks want to keep Jericho as their third-string center, meaning as of right now, we will see Precious Achiuwa be the Knicks' backup center unless they go out and make a move for someone different who they'd prefer to have as their backup, until they evidently make a trade for a Walker Kessler, Nick Richards, Jalen Duren even. There's a ton of different guys who have been mentioned as potential suitors for that backup center role. It depends on what the Knicks want to do, who they want to pay, or how much they want to pay for a backup center when it comes to making that Achiuwa trade, because it would be Precious Achiuwa in the trade. One of the reasons why they've signed guys like Landry Shamet and Marcus Morris is because those contracts, if guaranteed, and one of them will be, the other one won't be, that could be packaged on for an extra $3 million to, instead of being able to give out $6 million for that Achiuwa deal, you could give out $9 million, which does give you some more openings into some more potential trades. You also have Cameron Payne, someone you could use for that situation. Long story short here, the New York Knicks do not have their backup center of the future because they are going to trade Precious Achiuwa sometime around January, and they don't want it to be Jericho Sims. They don't really seem to have too much faith in Big Jerry himself. Now, Jericho Sims has been working really hard this offseason with Mike Bibby. He's trying to prove that he absolutely can be that guy for the future. He's working on that jump shot also, which is important to see. As of right now, we've seen Jericho Sims not be able to hit free throws, and if you don't hit free throws, it's a pretty telltale sign that you're not going to be able to hit jump shots at the NBA level. That's what all the analytics scream, and it does make some sense when you look at the numbers. It adds up. So we're going to see how Jericho Sims can shoot. We're going to see that in training camp. We're going to see if the Knicks get more faith in Sims. But right now, looking at this roster, they need a big year out of Jericho. So he's going to have to go and improve them wrong, and I think he can. I made a video a few months back discussing the fact that it turned out that after Jericho Sims' first season in the NBA, he got hand surgery. This is the first time in Jericho Sims' career this offseason that he has been healthy, that he has not been rehabbing an injury. Jericho Sims has been working back from injuries his first 2 NBA off seasons. Now, after his 3rd NBA season where he didn't play a ton of minutes, he gets a chance to really work, and I think it could pay off very well. Jericho Sims, the entire thing about him, all the noise surrounding him, the reason why he wasn't picked earlier in the draft, everything is this guy looks like he has so much potential. Why has he not gotten there? He's so athletic. He's great at rebounding the ball. He's efficient at shooting under the rim, which is where his shots come from. Now, obviously, he didn't play a lot, but last season, Jericho Sims put up 2 points and 3 rebounds, but shot 69% from the field, and only 63% of those were assisted. It's not like he was just catching the ball in the air and putting it right in. He was getting his own rebounds and putting them back up. He has a positive defensive box plus minus. The man is not a bad player, but it feels like the Knicks view Jericho Sims as worse than the fans do. Fans love Jericho. He's sneakily 6'10". I feel like everyone believes it. He's the same height as Precious Achiuwa. But as of right now, the Knicks seemingly want to roll with Precious, who put up 7.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, got a steal per game, or got a block per game, got half a steal per game, shot 50% from the field, and can spread out and hit some mid-ranges. Positive defensive box plus minus, but not as much as Jericho, and also a positive value over replacement player, something that Sims didn't have, because he didn't play enough to get anywhere with that. That's not Sims' fault. Now to go back to things, looking at Sims, yeah, he didn't really get any blocks or steals per game, but he never really played consistent minutes. It feels like, obviously, when you have guys like Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein both healthy, they're going to play all 48 minutes at center together, but there was a ton of time where Mitchell Robinson wasn't healthy this season, and we hardly saw Jericho Sims. We saw him step in a little bit here and there. We saw him actually start at first when Mitch went down with the injury before the Knicks went towards Hartenstein, and obviously that paid off beautifully, and it paid off for Hartenstein beautifully because he got paid beautifully. But at this point, you look at the team, and you need a true center. I love Precious Achiuwa. I'm a big Achiuwa supporter. I think all the numbers show that he can play center despite being undersized. I do want the Knicks to get a more traditional center because it will work for the Tom Thibodeau defense way better. The Knicks won't have to focus on having to put OG Anunoby on centers in any situation. I know OG is good against centers. I know the Knicks like using him in that role. I'd prefer OG to guard forwards and stuff like that instead of big guys. Now, obviously, sometimes it would make sense. There's teams where their best offensive player is going to be a center. If you want to stick OG on, either is the lead guy to guard him, such as Jokic, who plays on the perimeter a lot. That makes some sense. Or if you want him to be an elite help defender because OG's help defense is absolutely unbelievable, then that makes some sense too if you want to hide him and put him on a bad defender so he could play super help. It all can make some sense, and I know that Tom Thibodeau knows how to make a defense better than me. I just feel like the Knicks are selling Sims short here. I want to see Jericho Sims go out into training camp and show why he is going to be starting game 1 of the season, which I genuinely do believe when you look at this Knicks team. And the reason because of that is pretty simple. It's the fact that the Knicks, they're not going to have a healthy Mitchell Robinson game 1 of the season. That's just not happening. It's not. I don't see Mitchell Robinson being at full health. Even if he's playing, I don't think he'll be 100%. It's not. It'd be too fast coming back from this foot injury. Yes, I think Mitch will be back eventually. Hopefully he'll get back into shape and be the great Mitchell Robinson we know and love. But he can only play so many minutes. Someone's going to have to back him up. I do think the Knicks are eventually going to pivot towards making a trade, and I'm fine if the Knicks want to go out there and get someone better than anyone they have. In fact, I like it. You're a finals contender. Go out and do that. But I do think Sims is being sold short here, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Jericho's got. Respond, Jericho. Go out there and give them reason to believe in you. Have a great day, guys. Subscribe. Go Knicks.